Okay, hello class and parents. This is what we did for CC Cycle 3, Week 11. We are almost done, and we are at the tennis courts right now, so I don't have my stuff with me, but I thought if I could make a quick video and explain to you what we did in class, at least you guys would have the information. So we started with geography, and this week we flipped our maps over. We've done all 50 states, and we looked at mountain ranges. This is part of like the Appalachian Mountains. We're going to look at the first line of triangles that are in Maine, and that are the White Mountains. And the way we remember this with my kiddos is that when the ocean hits the shore of Maine, it creates that twirling, swirling water, which is white. So that first line of mountains, first triangles, those are the White Mountains. The next line that you see are the Green Mountains, and that's because when we stand in the ocean and we look up the hill, we see green grass. So we always remember White Mountains first in Maine, and then we have the Green Mountains. The next set of mountains that we have kind of fill up New York, and that's the Adirondack Mountains. And we talked about Adirondack chairs and that they're from New York, and I don't know if they are or not, but that's what we went with. So then we have our Adirondack Mountains, and they're the kind of the little cluster there in New York. And so the big thing for that is that when they point to the mountains, they need to point to New York. So White Mountains are in Maine. The next line, which is like New Hampshire, those are your Green Mountains. You would point to like New Hampshire. And then Adirondack Mountains are in New York. The next line of mountains we have are the Allegheny Mountains, and they start in Pennsylvania and they go down into West Virginia. So it's that first line of triangles, and they all kind of get messed up and kind of like all bunchy in there. But if they just know that the Allegheny Mountains start in Pennsylvania and they go down into West Virginia, that's all they need to know. So those are our first 4 mountain ranges. After that, we went to timeline, and we started with Norman Conquest. So we do in hand for Norman, and then this is our sign for defeat or to conquer. So Norman conquest and feudalism in Europe. And we build the stair steps to show that we had peasants and serfs and knights and princesses and kings and queens. We had all the different levels of the class system of Europe. So Norman conquest and feudalism in Europe, the Crusades. And this is just making the sign of the cross, and you put it forward to show that they were advancing. They were on a crusade to gain or to conquer back Jerusalem. They wanted to get Jerusalem back. So Norman conquest and feudalism in Europe, the Crusades. And Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe literally means a wall around me. And so how we remember that it comes in early Mali is because I built a wall around myself or around me. That helps me remember that the next thing is early Mali in Africa. And again, this is a wealthy group that was in Africa, early Mali, and so you can go early Mali in Africa to show that they were wealthy. Again, this is pointing to your ear to show that you have a gold earring in, and the Y stands for yellow, so we're just saying they were really wealthy. Zimbabwe and early Mali in Africa. Aztecs of Mesoamerica, America. So we're just building a triangle. Aztecs of Mesoamerica. Francis, this hand, Francis of Assisi. So F hand, A hand, and Thomas Aquinas. Francis of Assisi and Thomas Aquinas. And then for Japan shoguns, we take our hands to our hip and we pull out our sword and we say Japan shoguns. And then Incas of, we're going to build our little pyramids, Incas of South America. And I think that's the end, right, Wyatt? He's helping me. Okay. All right. So then next we went to cubes. So we just memorized our cubes, and we just marched around the table for that. And for whatever reason, always seems like it's fairly easy to remember your cubes. And so if you look at it, they have a tendency to be able to memorize it, and then just help them to remember that once you get to the 1,000, and I can't think of what they are right now, but you get to the 1,000, there's 3 of them that start with 1,000, there's 2 of them that start with 2,000, and then the very last one, 15 cubed, starts with the 3, and there's only one that starts with 3,000, it's 3,375. So if you look at it and break it down like that, sometimes it helps them to really be able to go through and memorize that. So we did that for cubes. Latin, we talked about nouns and pronouns have different ending called declensions, and we didn't do anything really fancy for that. We just said it. For our science, we had a little project that we did where I took a tube from a roll of wrapping paper and I wrote bloodstream on that, and then on the board I put glands and organs, and then we had marbles, and those were our hormones, and I had the glands and the organs stand at the front of the class, and then they took their little marbles, which are hormones, and they put them through the bloodstream, so they rolled down the tube, and then someone was at the other end and they caught the hormones, and they were the rest of the body. So that's a really long sentence. It says, tell me about the endocrine system. The endocrine system consists of glands and organs that use hormones to send messages through the bloodstream to the rest of the body. If you break it down, it kind of has 5 parts, and so that's how we kind of remember it and tried to give them a visual picture of what that would look like. For history, what we did for that was tell me about the Civil War. And so we did our 18. So in 1861, President, we did our tricorn hat sign where you cross your hands in the front and you pull them to the side. President Abraham Lincoln, went to war with the southern states?
Yes, I think so.
In 1961.
1861.
Oh, sorry, in 1861, President Abraham Lincoln went to war with the southern states, which had seceded from the Union. And I think those are all the motions for that, just pulling that from the top of my head. So that's what we did there for history. What am I missing, Wyatt Man?
Well,
English. It was to set. For this, you think about to set a table. And again, we had Grammar Goblin, and he just ate the different, the ways that we conjugate to set. So that's what we did there. And is that all? Math, English, geography, history, timeline, science, Latin. So we did it. Okay, so that's all that we did for new grammar. I hope that helps with our little memory tricks. For my body and science project, we finished up coloring everything, and they did their heads, and we talked about the eyes, the nose, the tongue, and the ears. Then I took a really up close picture of all the kids, and they will have the opportunity to either put that picture on their My Body for next week, or they can use the picture that they colored. So they're pretty funny. We'll see what they choose. Next week, we're just assembling all of it for week 12, and we're going to have a little Thanksgiving end of the semester party. So if you want to bring a snack for that, you're more than welcome to. Don't feel like you're obligated to do so. I'll have a little something for them, and we'll play some games. Then we went to Tin Whistle, which we talked about notes. So the kind of mnemonic thing that everybody uses is to the notes. The names of the notes is every good boy does fine, or gosh, Luke had one. Every good bird does fly, I think is another way you could say it. So whatever works or whatever you use. And then that was to show us what the notes are on the line of the staff. And then all of the spaces spell face. So F-A-C-E if you do the spaces, to help them see that the notes have names, and they are the names of the alphabet through G. And so then we played a little game with that, and I drew notes on the board in the different spaces of where they were, and then they got to kind of decode what those notes were, and we made little words with them. And then again, we reviewed everything that we had been doing in week 7 through 10 on Tin Whistle, and we will play Yankee Doodle in class on week 12 and celebrate with that. And then review game, we just colored a turkey because we're going to have a turkey shoot on week 12. And I'm going to say I saved all their turkeys that they colored, and we're going to shoot those with Nerf guns and answer review questions on week 12. So I hope you guys have a great day. If you need anything, always call, text, or get a hold of me any way you need to. And I will see you on Tuesday. Have a great day. Bye.